Hey y'all, hey! Welcome to the Hidden Revelations podcast. I'm your girl Shantae Rochelle, and I want to thank you for tuning in to a mini episode, a special edition, because of the weekend I had, y'all. This past weekend was one for the books, okay? Our high school, Westfield High School, class of '08, what's up? We had our second annual kickball tournament, and y'all, it was giving reunion style. It was giving reunion vibes because everybody pulled up from '02 to '05, '06, '07, '08. We were deep in that thing. It was a family, y'all, and I just appreciate all the vibes, everything that it was giving. From the kickball tournament during the day to the nightcap session that we had, y'all, everything was family, everything was love, and I was just so happy to see everybody embracing one another. And it wasn't even about playing kickball. It was the unity for me. You know, it's something about being around the people who knew you the most, who knew the old version of you, but still kind of embracing who you are now. Some of these relationships, some of these friendships that we have, and there's people that I haven't even spoken to since high school, but those relationships are still rare to me. And I just want to let each and every one of you know how much I appreciate all of you. And just thanks for rocking out, vibing with me. Those of you who asked about my podcast, those of you who are already subscribed. And if you're not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. Turn those notifications on because your girl is dropping weekly every single Monday. So just be on the lookout for that. I normally drop full episodes, but since I had the type of weekend I had, I'm just like, let me go ahead and just drop something short and sweet for my listeners, especially my alumni class. So shout out to Westfield, y'all. It's something about seeing everybody grown, seeing everybody adulting. It just made me realize that we've all lived our whole lives since some of us last seen each other, since these high school days, even going back to some college days, and just catching up with everyone and just seeing how life has just transpired over the time and how some of us are married now. We have families, we have kids, like we've experienced different things, like different jobs. A lot of us are entrepreneurs in that class of '08. Like, we done been through some heartbreak, some losses. We've had breakthroughs. We've flourished and got into the other side. And now we're all to a point where we can understand each other now, understand the life experiences. Growing up, we didn't understand everything that adults went through, like our parents, our grandparents, all the advice that they used to give us. Now that we're in that position, we're starting to see and understand people for who they are now, and some of the experience that they have gone through has made them the person that they are today. And all I can do is be grateful for that, because baby, my transformation has been on another level as well. So who I was in high school, who y'all knew me to be in high school, I'm a completely different person now. Sure, there's some things about me that are still the same, as far as sometimes my character, my personality. Now, there's some ways that I've matured in, but I'm still the same old me, the same old G, the same old Shantae, okay? And I just love the fact that you guys embraced me, and I was able to embrace everyone else as well. And, just seeing how well we got along was something that was so good. And even those who had like old beefs and drama in high school, or you didn't like this person, that person, it's like I couldn't tell any of that from this weekend. everybody was cordial, and if you weren't cordial, you just weren't around that space. And I think that's a maturity side as well, because guys, we're not 17 anymore. Like, our life experiences and everything that we've been through, life has humbled us, y'all. So we know how to move differently. We know how to move accordingly. And we know how to be in different rooms and different spaces with people that's not particularly on the same page as us. And I think that it's okay, because we're all growing and we're all at different stages in our lives. And the most important thing, like I said earlier, was about unity, y'all. And I'm so glad to see that even some of the closest people that I grew up with, letting go of certain grudges, because what is the point of continuing to hold on to that? Baby, we are letting that go, because this ain't that. We're not going back to those high school days. We're not going back to those childish ways. So let's continue to grow and focus on what's important in life. I adored the fact that nobody pulled up trying to act perfect. I enjoyed the fact that everybody was cool, vibing, laughing, and just being themselves. And that's the whole point of this message, and why I wanted to record this special edition, this mini episode for you guys today. Because it's okay for people to be themselves. It's okay to give people second or maybe even a third chance, because we're not who we used to be anymore, and we're all striving to do better things in our lives. We're growing, we're maturing in different areas, and that's the whole point. We can't judge people and expect people not to judge us back. But if we are open-minded, and if we're carefree, and if we're accepting people for who they are, then we're just living life like Christ is. Because God never judges our outside appearance or who we used to be. He judges our heart. He judges who we're wanting to be, who we're willing to be, what we're willing to let go of. And I just want that message to correlate with how you don't have to be perfect to have a walk with God. You don't have to perform holiness in places to prove that you have purpose. And I think that that's why God is using me for this podcast, because whether I'm at the park, or whether I'm at Park Place, or whether I am on this microphone, I'm going to be who I am. And God is not looking for me to be a perfectionist. He's looking for me to be real. He's looking for people to look at me like, oh, she's just like us. She's just like any other person. And just because I'm preaching this message about God and spreading his word about how good he is, it doesn't eliminate me from my flaws. There are some things that I'm still working on. So whether you judge me or not, you know, God is on my side just like he is with you in your walk. So I just want you to know that you can still love God and still be outside, okay? You can still be spiritual and still keep it real. Just know that everybody is elevated and everybody has purpose. So let's all be reminded that God meets you where you are. It's not about, oh, because she's talking about God, she can't turn up, she can't have a good time, she can't be amongst people who are doing things that, you know, I may not be doing at the time. I accept all things. I accept people for who they are. And this weekend, it just reminded me of how we have to enjoy the people that we grew up with, the people that's still around, and how we must cherish them, because baby, one day we're here and the next we're gone. So our time with each other is valuable. And that's what I love the most about these reunions, these annual tournaments, and just finding ways to get together and reminisce about these old things, our past, and how we grew up and how we had so much fun in high school. The fact that I saw so many people that I hadn't talked to in such a long time, it wasn't an awkward feeling. It was a feeling of peace. It was a feeling of love. And those are the vibes that we have to bring every single time. And we have to continue to show up for one another, whether we're supporting each other up front or from a distance, or, just search some of you who are doing things like just subscribing to my podcast. Some of those things mean the world to us, just showing each other that love and support, because that's all we need. And for those who are still struggling with some things from the past, I think forgiveness is a big thing to be able to move forward, to get to that level of peace to where you don't have to forget what someone did to you, but you don't have to hold on to that hate or that anger or to that hurt that someone did to you in the past. Okay, we can learn to be cordial and just move accordingly. And I feel like this past weekend was an example of that. So I just appreciate you all so much, because just on the spiritual side, God will allow us to revisit these old spaces just to see how much we've grown, or just to understand that we've come a long way from where we are now. So with all that being said, just know that forgiveness isn't for the past, it's for who you're becoming. And I see some of you flourishing in the most beautiful ways. Some of us may not look like what we've been through. And I think that's the beautiful thing about seeing all my people from high school, man. We look good, y'all. We look good together. We look good as a unit. And I'm glad that we could celebrate with no drama and just love on one another. So as I close out, here's my message to everyone. Let people grow. Allow people to grow. Allow yourself to grow. And know that who you were then isn't the same person you are now. You don't have to be perfect to be called. You don't have to be perfect to have a relationship with God. You don't have to be perfect to bring him into your everyday life. God wants to deal with us through our mess. He wants to deal with us through the drama. He wants to help us elevate our lives and take us to a place we can't even imagine. What we need to do is to continue to show up with love, unity, and grace, okay? Oh, and I saw in the group me that a lot of y'all went to church the day after. So whether it was physically or whether it was bedside Baptist, y'all still decided to show up. And even if you couldn't this week and you plan on doing that in the future, it's all good, because I just want you to know that this podcast represents transparency. It represents real life. It doesn't represent, me trying to call other people out, me acting like I'm holier than anybody else. No, I'm a regular woman. I'm a regular person, just like all of you. The whole point of this podcast is to let people know that you don't have to go out of your way to be called. You don't have to go out of your way to be chosen. God will accept you for who you are and eventually speak to your heart to let you know what things that needs to be changed in your life. Should no other human be telling you that? Of course, we're going to receive constructive criticism from people, but we have to learn how to just accept that and just take a look at our own lives and bring that to God. And that's what I want you guys to do, is to start bringing God into your everyday life. We have to look beyond Sunday. We have to look beyond the church walls and start bringing God in. This is how we're going to live a peace-filled life. just removing the heavy weight, the burdens, the anger, everything off our shoulders, and not allow anything to affect us. And just like we did this weekend, how we just were amongst each other, how we all got along, how we all accepted everyone for their crazy selves, their funny selves, and whoever they were. If they like to cut up, that's perfectly fine, y'all, because God accepts us for who we are. So continue to worship him, continue to thank him, continue to bring him in. And that's what I do on this podcast, y'all. Whether it be through real life stories like this special edition today, whether it be through scriptures, through sermons, through even lyrics, I want y'all to know how good God is. And if you believe, then this podcast is for you. So everything that I say to you guys, remember, there's no pressure on this end. It's just presence. So I'm your girl, Shantae Rochelle, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Westfield High School, class of 2008, special edition, y'all. Love you. Peace. I'll see you guys next week.